Students, welcome to my channel Betham's Academy. Today I would like to describe a software project management introduction. So here actually the software project management is a subject for final year first semester CSE students in JNTUK Kakinada and their affiliated colleges in Andhra Pradesh. So, the software project management, the prescribed textbook for the SPM is project management, nothing but software project management, 4th edition by Robert Hughes and Mike Cottrell. This was one of the prescribed textbook, and for the syllabus we have two more. Anyhow, first two units are there in this textbook. That's why we can proceed with the first two units. So, in the introduction part of the software project management, before that, actually in SPM, the first unit completely describes what is a project and what is a project management and what are the project characteristics. Next, what are the challenges of a software project in the real world and what are software project management activities, stakeholders of the project, then goals and objectives of the software project management. This is the first part of first unit in SPM. Coming to the introduction part, we just go through the introduction now. So in SPM, outline of talk. In this introduction, the main questions to be addressed. In this class, we just addressing these main questions of the introduction. What is a software project management? Is it really different from ordinary project management? Next, how do you know when a project has been successful? For example, do the expectations of the customer or client match those of the developers? So these are the questions before going to introduction part. So the answers for the questions is project management is somewhat different from the ordinary project management. And also, how do you know when a project has been successful? Which means that was a really reach to the real world, nothing but really reach to the clients or customers, then we can treat that was successful. Okay, those are the general questions before going to introduction part. Then now we start what is a project? Here we have some dictionary definitions are there for the software project. A specific plan or a design, that is called a project. A planned undertaking, this is also called as a project. A large undertaking, example public works scheme, this is also treated as a project. Here the key points above are the planning and the size of task. In the project, the key points are planning and size of task. So here we have the difference or comparisons of jobs and projects. So the job is a regular thing. Here the definition as shown in the diagram, jobs are a repetition of very well defined and well understood tasks with a very little uncertainty. Those are treated as a jobs. And coming to exploration, finding a cure for cancer, this the outcomes is very uncertain. Those are considered as a exploration, but the projects are always in the middle, nothing but in the middle of jobs and exploration. Those are treated or considered as a projects. So here we have characteristics of a project. What are the general characteristics of a software project? A task is more project like if it is. Simply, the project will have the following characteristics. A project is always a non-routine. It's a non-routine. And a project is always planned, well planned. And a project always aiming at a specific target. Project is always aiming at a specific target. Nothing but the project is always trying to reach the specific target which is specified by the project manager or which are specified by the client or user. Next, the work carried out for a customer. In the project, the work is carried out for a customer or for the satisfaction of the customer, involving several specialisms. The project always involving several number of different specialisms. Next, the project made up of several different phases. It's made up of several different phases or several different modules or several different tasks also. And the project constrained by time and resources. The project is always constrained by time and resources, and the project large or complex. Of course, sometimes it's a large or sometimes it's a complex, and sometimes it's a large and complex, or sometimes it's a large or complex. These are the few characteristics of a software project in the real world. Are software projects are really different from other projects? Not really, but it has some specific things or specific characteristics again. Software project is always invisible, and software project is a complexity, and a software project can have a conformity, and software project is flexible. These things can have the software project: invisibility, complexity, conformity, and flexibility. Next, this is ISO 12207 life cycle. Generally, the software project management, there are 5 phases are there: analysis, design, coding, testing, maintenance. These 5 are the broad or general phases which are there in a software life cycle process. In the industry, we have a different categories of process models are available. Every process model contains these 5 phases: analysis, design, coding, testing, and maintenance. According to the ISO 12207 life cycle, the requirement analysis. What requirement analysis really specifies? First, requirements elicitation. Requirements elicitation. Eliciting the things, which means do the complete research and get the complete information about the requirements. That's requirements elicitation. What does the client need? What does the client need? According to that, we need to gather the requirements, we need to search for a requirements, and we need to gather the requirements. What does the client really need? Analysis, converting customer facing requirements into equivalents that developers can understand. In the analysis, converting the customer facing requirements into equivalents that developers can understand. And requirements will cover functions, quality, resource constraints, that is costs, etc. The requirements will always cover functions, quality, resource constraints, and costs. Next, ISO 12207 life cycle continuing. Completion of the requirement analysis, there is a architecture design. The second step, architecture design. So it should be designed based on the system requirements. It defines components of a system, hardware, software, and organizational. The architecture design defines components of a system. Those components are hardware components, software components, and organizational components. Next, software requirements will come out of these. Always the software requirements are come out from the architecture design. Next, code and test. Of course, the code and test of individual components. Next, integration, putting the components together. The name integration, it's a mix of putting the components together. That is integration. Next, qualification testing. So here, testing the system. not just the software, testing the entire system. Next, need to focus on installation. The process of making the system operational that should be treated as a installation. It can include setting up the standing data, setting system parameters, installing on operational hardware platforms, and user training, etc. These all are in the process of installation. Next, acceptance testing support, including maintenance and enhancement. Next, we have different ways for categorizing the projects. Some ways of categorizing the projects. Distinguishing different type of project is important as different types of tasks need different project approaches. Anyhow, each project will need a different approach for execution or for implementation purpose. Information systems versus embedded system, objective based versus product based. Simply, there are different categories of projects are there in the industry. That is objective based approach or objective based projects, product based projects, system based projects, and process based projects. Like that, we have the different categories of projects are available in the industry. This is the briefing of a project definition and characteristics, and according to the ISO 12207 standard, the project qualities. Next, coming to the management. What is management? This involves following activities. The management, nothing but the software project management involves following activities: planning, organizing, staffing, directing. So, what is the planning first? Deciding what is to be done. The planning can decide what is to be done. That is a planning. Organizing, making arrangements for implementing the task. That should be considered as a organizing. Staffing, selecting the right people for the right job. Staffing, nothing but employees who are working in the environment or who are working in the industry. So, staffing is very, very important, selecting right people for the right job. And next, directing, it's a giving instructions continued. So, the directing, it's a giving instructions continued. Next, monitoring, checking on progress. The monitor, nothing but checking the progress or checking the status of the project. That is a monitoring. Coming to controlling, taking action to remedy holdups. Controlling is needed in a software project management. Why? Because while the project is going on, number of hurdles or there is a chance of up and downs in the project environment. At the time, the controlling is required to control the situations and also think about the remedial solutions for the problems which are occurred in the project environment. That is controlling. Next, innovating, coming up with the solutions when problems emerge. When the problems are emerge, at the time need to come up with suitable solutions for the concerned problems. That's called as a innovating. Next, last, representing, liaising with the clients, users, developers, and other stakeholders. Nothing but dealing with all the clients, users, developers, and stakeholders, and interacting with them and getting the suggestions and considerations from them. These things should be treated as a representing. These are project activities basically which are there for every project in the industry. Next, setting objectives. Simply, objectives of a software project. Here we have objectives and goals. First, we need to focus on objectives. Answering the question, what do we have to do to have a success? Need for a project authority, nothing but to get the success in a project, we need to achieve or we need to set some objectives. The manager, nothing but the project manager and the entire team of a project always trying to achieve the objectives which are defined in the project. So, need for a project authority could be one person or a group. Simply, it's not possible with the one person. The project is always succeed with the team members only. So, need for a project authority, set the project scope and allocations and approve costs, etc. For that purpose, we need to get the support from project authority or a higher authority of the project or boss of the project. Set the project scope, nothing but find out the limitations and the boundaries of a project, and allocates and approves costs which are required for implementing the software project. Could be a one person or a group. Project board, project management board, steering committee, etc. These all are the group of people always trying to achieve the objectives of a project. Then the project always will be in a successful mode. Informally, the objective of a project can be defined by completing the statement. The project will be regarded as a success if so on. Rather like post conditions for the project. Here focus on what will be put in the place rather than how activities will be carried out. So we need some goals. We have some goals to achieve the objectives, right? So the goals is a separate concept. First, we focus on objectives should be smart always. In the software project management environment, objectives should be smart. There is a separate expansion is there for each word is there in, or each letter is there in a smart word. Smart. S stands for specific. That is concrete and well defined. The objective should be always specific. Nothing but specifically they need to define. They need to define what is in the project. So objective should be specific. That is a concrete and well defined. That is a composite and well defined. Next, the second, M stands for measurable. That is a satisfaction of the objective can be objectively judged. Nothing but objective always should be measurable. That should be able to measure. Next, the third one, A. A stands for achievable. Objective always should be achievable. That is within the power of the individual or the group concerned to meet the target. Objective always should be achievable, and that is with the power of the individual or group concerned to meet the target. Group of members always trying to meet the target, and objective always should be achievable. Next, R stands for relevant. The objective must be relevant to the true purpose of the project. It must be relevant to the true purpose of a project. Once we define the objective, that is purely related to the project, true purpose of the project. That is the meaning of relevant. Simply, objective is always relevant to the true purpose of a project. Next, last T. It's a time constrained. Objective should be time constrained. There is a defined point in a time by which the objective should be achieved. Specific time is a fix for when the objective will be achievable. So the T stands for time constrained. So these are the 5 objectives which are concerned for a software project. Objective should be smart always. The SMART stands for objective should be specific, objective should be measurable, objective should be achievable, objective should be relevant, and objective should be time constrained. These are 5 things which are required. Every object is there in the software industry. Next, there is a clear difference between goals and objectives in the software industry. These are steps along with the way to achieving the objective. Informally, this can be defined by completing the sentence. So, there is a difference between a goal and objective in the software industry. Objective X will be achieved if the following goals are achieved. So, simply, the project will have a number of goals and goal A, goal B, goal C, like that it can achieve the number of goals at the time automatically the objective also achievable. Objective X will be achieved if the following goals are achieved. If the following goals are achieved, then automatically objective X will be achieved. That is the clear difference between goals and objectives. Often a goal can be allocated to an individual person. Individual may have the capability of achieving the goal, but not the objective on their own. And one more difference between goals and objectives. Goal can be allocated to an individual person, but objectives are not allocated to individual person. Individual may have a capability of achieving the goal. Individual person may have the capability of achieving the goal, but not the objective on their own. But objective is not possible to achieve on their own. Simply, the goal is possible to achieve by the individual person, but objective is always achievable through a team of members or a group of members. That is another key difference between objectives and goals in the software project management. Objective, user satisfaction with the software product. Analyst goal, accurate requirements. Developer goal, software that is reliable. So, these are some examples concerned for the objectives and goals. Next, measures of effectiveness. How do you know that the goal or objective has been achieved? By a practical test that can be objectively assessed. So, what is the way to find out whether the goal or objective has been achieved? By practical test that can be objectively assessed. Example, for user satisfaction with a software product, repeat business. They buy further products from us. Number of complaints if low, etc. So, when we know that objectives are achieved means based on the popularity of a product which was released into the real world. Next, there is a word stakeholders. Here there is a key difference or there is a difference between user and stakeholder. There are people who have a stake or interest in the project. So the people who have stake or interest in the project, those people are called as a stakeholders. In general, they could be users or clients or developers or implementers, etc. Those all are treated as a stakeholders. Along with that, the stakeholders are within the project team. Maybe within the project, they could be within the project team or outside the project team but within the same organization, or outside both the project team and organization also. Even they should be treated as a stakeholders for the concerned project. So, stakeholder either may be within the project team or outside the project team but within the same organization, outside both the project team and the organization. Those are considered as a stakeholders. That's all, my dear friend, for today class. Introduction of a project and the project characteristics and ISO 12207 steps, then project managements and project management activities, then objectives of a project and goals of a project, and finally stakeholders in the project. That's all. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you.